Hi, my name is Andrea, and here are answers to 12 of your most frequently asked questions about the harp. This harp has 47 strings, and yes, unfortunately, I do have to tune them all every single day. My lowest string is a low C. My highest string, super high G. This harp spans 6.5 octaves and sounds like this. Not a lot of people realize that our strings are actually colored, and the reason is just so we can tell our way around the harp. All of the red strings are C's, and all of the black strings are F. So we have a red C, white D and E, a black F, white G, A, B, and a red C again. Harp strings are made of 3 different materials. We have our very low bass wires, which are steel. The vast majority of our strings are sheep's gut, gross I know, and then our tiny little strings at the top are made of nylon. My harp is 81 pounds heavy and 6 foot 2 inches tall. Now you may be thinking, 81 pounds is very heavy. You are correct. For moving, it is a little bit of a pain, but when I sit down, I don't feel the full 81 pounds on my shoulder. There is a point of balance for the harp. We bring it back to our shoulder, find that balance point, and then let it fall into our shoulder right after that. So it's not a lot of weight. The top of the harp has a crown, which is connected to the column, which runs all the way down to our base with our 2 front feet. On the back side, we have our pedals, and then our soundboard, our neck, and our very important mechanism. Fun fact, our mechanism has over 2,000 moving parts. The biggest types of harps we have are called pedal harps because we have 7 foot pedals. Bet you didn't know that. Each foot pedal corresponds to a note in the scale. So I have 7 foot pedals, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Each one of those pedals has a flat, a natural, and a sharp slot, meaning that I can play in any key at any time without having to retune my instrument. So a good way to demonstrate this is, let's take my C pedal. I can play a C flat, move my pedal down to natural, play a natural, move my pedal once more down to sharp, and play a C sharp. Now the pedals on the harp do affect every single note on the harp. So my C pedal affects every single C I have at the same time. So if I need a C natural down here, 1 measure, and a C flat up here, the next measure, I do have to do a pedal change. There are harp makers all over the world, but all of my instruments were made right here in the United States at the Line & Healy factory in Chicago, Illinois. Most of the harp is made up of maple. The soundboard is made of Sitka spruce, and our inlay at the side is rosewood. Most string instruments get better with age. Unfortunately, that's not necessarily true for harps. Because we have 2 tons of pressure from the strings pulling up on our soundboard and 2,000 moving parts in our mechanism, we start to have mechanical or woodworking issues a few decades into the life of a harp. A harp can best be compared to a new car, most trouble-free, straight out of the factory. To move the harp, we wrap it up in 3 very padded covers and use our dolly or cart to wheel it around. This harp will fit in most large SUVs, station wagons, or minivans with the seats folded flat. I have the best team at the Charlotte Symphony, led by our fearless John Jarrell, JJ, and they treat me like a princess. The stagehands make sure to help me move the harp, and I have the best parking spot. While there have been many different types of harp throughout history, including all the way back to 2500 BC in ancient Egypt, the harps we most use today are either our big pedal harps or smaller lever harps. Harp music, like piano music, uses a treble clef and a bass clef staff, known together as the grand staff. Our right hand plays the treble clef, our left hand plays the bass clef. You also might see some pedal markings in harp music. This tells us when exactly we need to move our pedals and move it back as needed. Impress everyone next trivia night. Harpists only use 4 fingers on each hand. Our pinky is just too short.